In this box right here, we have a whole bunch of ghost rares. Today, we're going to be looking at which ones I'm going to be cracking for my collection. Let's get into it. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can tell, this is another installment of the Strictly Cracking series where I'm basically cracking cards. In this video, I'm going to break down my thought process on which cards I choose to break and which cards I choose not to. I do want to disclose that I got this lot as a consignment, but I ended up buying a lot of them off of the guy straight up because his price was pretty fair and I felt like it can go in my binder for that price. So let's get on to the actual discussion and the actual cards. The first card that I am looking to maybe crack is this Black Rose Dragon. My thought process on this one is I took a look at the hollow foil and it looks incredibly clean. The only problem that I think this got an 8 for is there is a little bit of dirt on the card right here as well as on the front. Now, I'm not sure if this is something that I can remove myself, but I'm gonna try because I think that the rest of the card is clean enough to warrant the risk. The price that I paid for this is pretty much market price, but the reason I'm okay with this is because I feel like if this can come off, it has a pretty good shot at PSA 9. I don't think it will get to 10, but I do think that it might get to 9. I will not be grading it, but because it has that chance at a 9, I do think that it fits in my binder and it can go a long way in my ghost rare collection. So this is the first card that we're going to be cracking. The second card is this Elemental Hero Chaos Neos. This card is pretty clean. I could definitely see some hollow scratches though. For the PSA 8, I think the reason that this got it is because the hollow scratches. I think is some like running up and down. I think that's alright. I mean, I can't really ask for a lot more because again, I'm not really trying to go too hard on ghost rares. I'm not like that crazy about them. I like them, but it's not like super nostalgic for me. I don't need like, you know, the perfect card. I do think that this has a chance at PSA 9, and to me, I mean, it does justify the cracking of this. This one is kind of like a maybe situation. I might crack it, I might not. We'll figure it out by the end of the video. I'm still thinking about it. The next card is Ancient Fairy Dragon. This is a part of the consignment. I obviously will not be cracking a PSA 10. However, I think that this one is a little bit weak for its grade. This is a European card, so this means that it has like the edge damage, like it has a little bit of whitening on the corners. I would say that this is maybe PSA 9 plus. Everything else seems to be pretty decent condition. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about the PSA 10 grade on this. I think it most likely deserves a 9, but because it's a 10, there's no point in cracking it. So this is a no category. This right here is an honest ghost rare, obviously. This has a couple of scratches on there. I would be okay cracking this. However, on the back, I can see some whitening, like very tiny bit of whitening and some tiny play wear. So because of this, it's not really worthy of being in my binder. So there's really no point in cracking this, if that makes sense. When I crack this, even if it doesn't get a 9, or if I find out later that it's not a 9, I would be okay taking the risk because I'm happy with this copy as a binder copy from what I'm seeing right now through the case. You understand? With this one, from what I'm seeing in the case, I would not be okay as a binder copy. So there's really no point in even cracking this. So this is going to go in the no category. Next up, we have the big beast right here, Stardust Dragon. The main reason this got to 7 is, in my opinion, the scratching on the card. The back is pretty clean, but there is some, what I would say, like, I don't know, like if that's a play wear or scratches or something like that. So far, I think that this does have a pretty good chance at PSA 8. I mean, I don't really see any dents in the card. I'm looking at it right now under the light, and I don't really see why it got to 7. It just seems to me like it's because of the hollow scratches. And they're bad. I'm not saying that they're good. Trust me, like, they're bad. But I just can't see myself paying like crazy prices for this card, and the price that I got this for is pretty decent enough that it can just go in my binder. Again, it's not going to be like in my set stuff, right? It's just going to be the extras binder, maybe use it as trade bait later on, and selling it as a 7 just doesn't really make sense, so I'm definitely going to be cracking this one. So I decided to go ahead and crack the Chaos Neos. The reason is because it's not even worth selling as a PSA 8, to be honest with you. So I might as well just crack it and keep it raw. So that's done. And then we take this. Come on, don't let me down. So let's take a look at the foiling. Oh wow, this card is clean. What is this? Okay, so I think it got the 8 because of the speckling right here. I don't know if these are removable. I can definitely feel something with my nail. There's some like scratching right there, but this is definitely a near mint card. Like there's not even like a scratch on this thing. Wow. Definitely worthy of being in the binder. I don't think I can find a copy like this in raw form. I think it's a good PSA 8. I think it's a fair grade. I don't think it's undergraded. I definitely don't think it's a 9, but like I said, when it comes to these really expensive cards, right? Like I don't want to pay $3,000-$4,000 for this in PSA 9 form and then end up having to crack it. So if I'm able to pick up the 8 for way cheaper than the 9 and still get a nice crispy copy, it will definitely do. This one I can definitely tell is not on the same quality as that, and nor should it be because it's a PSA 7, but we shall crack it anyway because this is probably the most expensive ghost rare after the misprint, obviously. If you haven't checked out my misprint video, I definitely recommend it. I go very in depth on just how rare the Rainbow Dragon effect misprint is. You can find that in the links in the top right. This is definitely a near mint card. There's scratches on this, like no denying that. Definitely not the same quality as the Black Rose for sure. I don't think that this can be classified as light played. It's not that bad. The two biggest ghost rares in 5Ds, man, these are such jewels. Unbelievable. And then last but not least is the Chaos Neos. I'm just taking a last look at it. So this is what I do with cards that are like not graded by me. You understand? So these are stuff that I really don't have any control over what they look like inside of the case. I have to take these risks and everything is calculated. So this has some scratches, definitely. They're kind of deep. The back, yeah, this is clean. Wow. Like there is some light scratching, but I definitely don't think these are LP cards. Like this is selling for, like PSA 8 is selling for LP prices. I think in my opinion, like this is a near mint card. The only issues is the scratches on the foil. Yeah, I needed this for my collection anyway, so. So yeah, that's kind of like my thought process whenever I do these things. When I know that the cards that I've subbed are really minty, I don't have as much of a problem cracking them because I know what I have. When it comes to cards that I've never subbed and I'm buying like kind of off of somebody else, I try to ask them like what's wrong with it, why did it get this grade, and then basically make my judgment from there. Like I told you guys, for example, with the Honest, I felt like this card is too worn out for it to be binder worthy in my opinion. So because of that, I can't really justify anything with whitening. But something like, you know, print lines, I'll be okay with. Centering, I'll be okay with. When it comes to lower end stuff, I'm definitely a lot more picky than what I would be if I'm dealing with something that's like, you know, $1,000 for a raw copy. You understand? Like, it's kind of getting to a price point where I have to settle for near mint instead of mint for some of these cards, because they're just way too expensive now in order for me to justify it. That's kind of my thought process, my technical analysis of PSA graded cards and how I go about cracking them. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you want to follow me on my binder journey, you can click the video on the left. And if you want to see the first blue eyes made in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, you can click the video on the right. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully you learned something. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.